Hi, it's Mild Red Songbird, Mild Red Bird Song in New York City, displaying part of Eve, Mother of the Earth's intergalactic scrapbook. Here we have St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Let's see what that's about. This is St. Patrick. Melanie L. Spear is her name this life. This is her daughter, St. Kabir. St. Patrick's Day is the 17th of March. The day of the Festival of Patrick is a cultural and religious celebration. Held on 17th of March, the traditional death day of St. Patrick, the foremost patron saint of Ireland. Melanie Lynn Spear's birthday is the 6th of June. D-Day. Melanie Lynn Spear is the current name of St. Patrick. The day, June 6, 1944, in World War II, on which Allied forces invaded northern France by means of beach landings in Normandy, the largest seaborne invasion in history. D-Day has come, and Melanie Lynn Spear was Christopher Columbus, the explorer who found America for Queen Isabella, who was Eve, who wanted a heavenly place for good people to live, and he found America. D-Day has also come to mean the day on which an important operation is to begin or a change to take effect. Okay, that's the history of St. Patrick's Day, celebrated March 17th. Okay, what else do we have? This is Guru Nanak. The picture here is Guru Nanak. And this is a restaurant, an Indian restaurant, Eve's favorite Indian restaurant, where the Sikh taxi drivers eat on 20th Street and 9th Avenue. The birth anniversary of the first Sikh guru, Eve, Guru Nanak, is known as celebrated as Guru Nanak Prakash Utsav or Utsav. It is one of the most sacred festivals for Sikhs. It will be celebrated November 12th, 2019, November 30th, 2020, and November 19th, 2021. Did I say November 12th? Okay, so that's Guru Nanak. And here you have more Sikhs. President Donald Trump was the 10th Sikh guru, Gobind Singh Ji, who had to take office at 9 years old because his father, the 9th Sikh guru, Tej Bahadur Mike Pence, was beheaded by the Muslims because he would not abandon Sikhism and convert to Islam. Dr. Jordan Peterson is Muhammad, the prophet for Islam, and Tariq Dajanian, who lives here at the residence of St. Francis of Assisi, where I live. This is St. Francis. Robin Birdsong. Is a very nice man. He's my brother. He's Eve's brother from a past life. Okay. I'm just trying to see where I am now. This is St. Francis of Assisi. This is a collage that Eve did. Eve does collages of pictures of people who live here in the residence. This is St. Francis of Assisi, Robin Birdsong. Her mother, Guru Nanak, of Sikh heritage, Jesus Christ, Govinda Singh, the head of the Radhaswami colony in India, 2 million disciples plus. Okay, this is Robin Birdsong, Princess of Assisi. Again, she was Queen Victoria. Standing beside her is Albert, Prince Consort, who was her husband when she was Queen Victoria. This is His Royal Highness Guillaume of Luxembourg, who Robin Birdsong, this is Robin Birdsong, was married to in a previous life. This is de Michel Birdsong, the mother, standing with the couple. Robin lived in Luxembourg for a number of years, this life. And our book, Sneezy the Greasy Baby, says Abigail is donating part of the proceeds from the sale to His Royal Highness Crown Prince Guillaume's charity. You can see it on the back of the book. This is a better picture of the book. This is Abigail, Eve's granddaughter, and who was her mother, Eve's mother, is now Nter Ranzinger, daughter of Christopher Columbus, Melanie L. Spear, St. Patrick. Also, this is part of the head of Nter Ranzinger when she was a projection of Baba Jamal Singh Ji of the Dara. These are the Dara saints, part of their heads. Let's see, who do we have here? That's Swami Ji, Sawan Singh, Jagat Singh, Charan Singh, Gorinda Singh. All of these were Jesus Christ conscious saints who mystics in the India who saved souls from the agony of life. Now this is Gorinda Singh, has changed the march. It's now no longer taking people to heaven. He locked up heaven. This is Gorinda Singh. This is April, the chef here, who is a projection of Gorinda Singh. She's a wonderful person. I adore her. And this is more food. Jessica Toner Nter, who created a Friday vegetarian day. I'm the vegetarian here in the place, but lots of people eat the vegetarian food on Friday. And this is Maria Cott, who used to teach a writing group, assisting Jessica. And this is the food. A quinoa salad was delicious. And green beans. Now, St. Francis of Assisi is a lacto-vegetarian, has been a lacto-vegetarian most of her life. And so has her brother, Singh Birdsong, been a vegetarian almost all of his life, except he had some Parmesan cheese, and he had some beans and rice with broth over them, which he didn't know that it was on there in Turkey. And this is Orlando Rodriguez. You can see the word star. He painted that picture. He is a star. He was Orville Wright, the co-founder of Kitty Hawk, the first plane to fly. And Sing Birdsong was Wilbur Wright, Orlando's brother. These are my sons, Eve's sons. Okay. And these are people eating. This is a close-up of the food on that particular Friday. I think that's that particular Friday, or another vegetarian Friday. And these are people eating. William Hayes is a knight of King Arthur's Round Table. Sing Birdsong was King Arthur. And this King Arthur. And we have Dave, who went to Friends Seminary and loved it, raves about it, can't get over it. And Sing Birdsong, and Robin Birdsong, and Christopher Columbus, Melanie Spear, all attended Friends Seminary, and they all loved it. I'm not sure Melanie loved it, but I know Sing and Robin loved it. This is Confucius, Sammy Ing, partaking of the vegetarian meal that Friday. That's Maria Cott in the background, serving herself some food. This is another day we had food, also vegetarian food, fresh fruit, my favorite. Tangerines and grapes and bananas. There's nothing better than this. This is real food. And dead animals are not meant to be eaten. Okay, over here we have Velma and Raoul. I think they make a lovely couple. She just got over grieving from her common law husband. And I don't think he has a wife. That's his mask that he made for art class. Okay, this is Father Tom, who founded the St. Francis of Assisi residence with Father John and Father John. They cut the head off. St. Bartholomew, who works here as a program director, finds all kind of fun activities so people aren't bored for them to do. I went to see Circus du Soleil, and I went to see the great musical movie Mamma Mia that they provided for us to go see. Milton Harris here is my father from a past life, and was John Milton, Paradise Lost author, and Homer, the author of Iliad and the Odyssey. Here is Charlie Kelk, my mother, from a previous life. See, I found, that's why I know I'm in heaven. They say you find your relatives in heaven, and I have found many of my relatives. Robin and I got a royalty check from Sneezy the other day, so that's good news. Okay, this is Sing's label that he and Birdsong designed. Edwin Birdsong, his father. This is Edwin Birdsong. He just transitioned from this physical body he's in here. And he is waiting to even his karma so he can get in the womb of Robin as soon as she decides on a groom. And as soon as I am collected, as soon as I collect my what is due me from Edwin Birdsong and from Stevie Wonder. Once that obligation is fulfilled, Edwin's obligation is fulfilled, which was to be fair to me, his wife, who helped get him started in life as an entertainer and a songwriter, then Edwin can be reborn in the physical. I won't even talk about what happens if he doesn't pay me back and get reborn in the physical. This is the Buddha meditating. Jesus Christ is the same as the Buddha. He's also the same as St. Valentine, the same as Santa Claus, St. Nicholas. His wife Mary, Jesus Christ's wife Mary, is the same as Mrs. Santa Claus and Mrs. Jesus Christ, because he married her last year in April and impregnated her with his eyes. He didn't touch her physically, and created a baby like this sleeping baby is in her womb. And also the son, her father, impregnated her. So she has twins in her womb. He, Govinda Singh, is the son of the son. So she got the son of the son's baby, and she has the father of the son's baby in her. Special souls, immaculately conceived. What a miracle this earth is about to have. You should be very grateful. This picture here is a process I created with the help of the baby in my womb, who was my personal spiritual guide at the time, Charan Singh. It's called Talk and Share. And this book is called Talk and Share Method of Overcoming Grief by D. Michelle Birdsong, available at Amazon.com. I wrote that for Singh. This is a picture of D. Michelle Birdsong and Robin Birdsong, Stevie Wonder and Robin Birdsong, and Steve's daughter, Sophie Morris, at Edwin Birdsong's funeral, where Steve got so overcome with grief he had to leave the room 3 times. And as he was singing the song as A.S., his voice broke up and he could hardly get the words out. He was so emotional. Edwin Birdsong was so important to him and his happiness. Okay, now that I've gotten Scrapbook out of the way, I'll give you some text. Hopes. I hope I can move with my family and friends forward. I hope I can make with my friends and family unfathomable positive progress to the top as leaders and rulers of the universe, which is the will of the Son and the Son of the Son. under the sun's watchful eye. Isaac's victory, enter, Rose. Janis Joplin, played by Bette Midler, the Rose. Bette Einstein, Evangeline. See what I'm talking about here? If I decode this, Bette Einstein, Evangeline, Fickle, get you in a pickle, brine. You heard of pickle brine? The brink of disaster. The money fell from the trunk. You didn't pick it up because Charan Singh said, you know it's not yours. Ours. Course of action comes from the heart and brain. Wait a minute, I missed a clue up here. This ETG is Etta James. Eve was Etta James, the queen of jazz. Okay, now go down here. So the course of action, this is important, what's coming up, comes from the heart and brain. Is factions of your body. Get them united. Then it's time to get excited. Your win is on the way. Remember, Einstein Evangeline formula. Brain plus heart equals your reality. Now the details of that I've spelled out. If your brain is satisfied that your heart really wants something, and your brain is satisfied it deserves it and can get it, then it comes to you, because it means eyes owe you, having woe you. Alright, so that's saying that anything Eve thinks she deserves, she can get. Jesus Christ was not the greatest martyr known to man. That's as far as the Father, the Son. Jesus Christ is the greatest lover ever known. Jesus Christ gave up his life, his harem, and everlasting peace in heaven in the sky to marry Eve and give her his part of a baby God. She gave the egg part, so they cooperated in that. This baby, Eve, deserved to carry and mother more than any other mother, because she would take the trouble, even with that of Barney Rubble, the trouble to discover the source of her children's trouble. You see, they're saying why Eve got the honor of carrying Jesus Christ's baby. Astrology told Eve she'd inherited a head that was muddled. She saw she had to uncover the twisted thinking that caused the Minnow's sinking. Minnow was her nickname as a child. Minnow was also the boat that sunk on Gilligan's Island. Minnow sinking, leaving passengers drinking Thirsty Howell's growl. Thurston Howell III was the millionaire on Gilligan's Island. Bell and Howell selling out to Kodak. That was the camera companies. Eve chose Kodak's sweet, cold, hard facts to believe. That was a detective, a Greek detective who sucked a lollipop. Eve could breathe and achieve staying present while looking back. Hindsight, that's talk and share. You stay present while looking back and become clear. Hindsight is 20/20 vision. 20th Century Fox, Foxy Lady, Marilyn Monroe, that's Eve. That's when she realized Jimi Hendrix is talking to me. Jimi Hendrix is singing Birdsong, her son. Jimi Hendrix lived in Clarksville, Tennessee. I lived in Clarksville, Tennessee, says Eve. He's a jazz creative musician patriot Superman disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter, let anybody enter him and call it order, except for his mother. Jimmy put up a border. He believed Singh put up a border. He believed she raised him to be more than he could be. You raised me up to be more than I can be. You should listen to that video. It's on Ellen show. It'll make you cry. It's so wonderful. I forgot to read this about hopes. I hope 5G as a threat disappears, no longer is even a hiss. I hope all weapons of mass destruction and the means to reconstruction weapons of mass destruction and mass disruption disappears. The sun told me to present my hopes and energy. Okay, so because Singh didn't inherit Trump's money that Trump inherited to be a foundation to being free to be and do anything he wanted, he was free of anxiety. Trump was free of anxiety. Singh grew up watching his dad, Edwin Birdsong, attach himself to black nobility, while his wife Michelle had presumed they were going to the top. Martin Luther King had made America about blacks. No, Martin Luther King, who was Lou Ranziger, Eve's grandson, and Christopher Columbus, St. Patrick's son, Melanie Spears' son, had made America admit blacks to the party of top hats. But Singh's father didn't want to work that hard. Linda, who was Mary Queen of Scots, Will Isaacs, N.D., pretend friend Linda, told her Edwin had a lazy streak, an enormous weakness. Steve Wonder has to keep going, lest he panic, not knowing where he's been, where he's going. What's the difference between a sweet 16 and a beautiful morning? What's sunshine? Steve doesn't know. What's life? What's stupid? What's bright? What's day? What's night? What's sight? What's light? The truth is the light. What's truth? What's wrong with cooking and eating somebody's goose? What's the use of Lenny Bruce? Lenny Bruce, Owen Benjamin, who was Eve's husband, says Stevie Wonder can see. Owen Benjamin is a genius, but he can't make sense of somebody with the worst karma, being blind, being so rich. That's because Hitler was an evil genius son of a bitch. He knew if he was blind, nobody would believe he'd been Hitler in a past life, because their sympathy for such an unfathomable existence was punishment enough for any bad behavior. They trying to turn the page here. They believed Stevie Wonder was Judas. They couldn't believe Stevie Wonder was Judas, who was partly to blame for crucifying the world Savior. That's where the story falls apart. They placed the God-man, Jesus Christ, in a manger. A manger, though, around Mrs. O'Leary's cow who started the Chicago fire. Mary's supposed to change Jesus Christ's shitty diaper. There in a manger where there was no table, there were no huggy disposable diapers, there was no sink to wash away baby stink. Saint Ink is the way she can think somebody's story is not in sync with the way her life is going, as it's supposed to be a repeat of history, so she can add the missing bits and pieces with her story. She's getting her truth from her brain. Everybody's got the truth of what happened to Eve after Adam drove her in a Chevy to the levee, saying, "This will be the day that I die." 20th century me and Bert High school friends after leaving a football game in Georgia, supporting our team. After drinking wild Irish rose wine, something took a hold of my mouth, my foot, and my mind. My head turned to adventure of dying. Let's see. We were at the top of a hill. Below us was a body of water. "Let's see what it's like to die," I said. Clarence, in the passenger seat, who had failed to get a bit of Miss America between me thigh, still didn't want to die. I hope you're following the story. "Let's see what it feels like to die," I said. Clarence said, "Let's not." Reached down and removed my foot from the metal on the pedal, the accelerator, and at the bottom, he steered mild red, my wheel right. Like the guardian angel, Clarence steered the star in It's a Wonderful Life, which qualified him for his homecoming with family and true friends who stuck by him. This is where I got my idea that friends help you. I saw this movie at Linda's house when I just left the psych ward, so I associated Linda, War Divide, with being a friend. Like when I was trying to do something I wanted to do instead of living serving what's best for my husband and children to do. You see what I'm saying? I had to live my life serving my husband and children. Then before I died, I said, I'm going to do something I want to do. I woke up where Robin had left me when my consciousness had descended to the level of a hen. I figured it out was an omen that I woke up in Stevie Wonder's unoccupied den, his townhouse in Gramercy Park, falling apart. After all, he was owing. He said he was my friend, and I had helped him begin. I never dreamed a superstar would lie. He seemed so good to the public eye, good at creating cute little ditties, but he dithered and puts you in a dither when it's time to pay you in gold and silver or green bills on the account. He's racked up, stealing your husband, removing what it is from number one, where something true and something new belongs. Those words were the Freudian slip he put on the record. Then he said, on the record, what it is oh so new. What it is oh so true. I just called, and he had just called, after he heard the album, to say, I love you. Stevie Wonder, Hitler, the evil genius, outsmarted himself. Just as my mother said, niggers, chiggers do. They talk long enough, they tell off on themselves. Okay, so Steve wanted to keep what it is a secret, but it came out in the creating of an album. Okay, it's mild. I'm owed damages for him and Barry Gorder removing the album What It Is and making sure the album after that, Supernatural, doesn't get to the number one slot to be removed. Stevie and Barry Gorder put Stevie's album in first place. Talk and share. Okay, so I need to talk and share to get that out of my system. It's my Red Songbird in New York City, talking to you about a lot of things. I'll talk to you again on the next video. See what it brings.